Hi, I'm the Academic Astrologer, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to find your best lines in astrocartography and the best place for you to live. So if you'd like to book a reading, please go to my website, academicastrologer.com, and you can book a reading. A lot of times in forums, people look for TikTok answers on, here's my map, tell me where to live. Or they don't even show their map, they're just like, tell me the best lines to live on. And unfortunately, it depends. So it's not so easy it's not so easy as TikTok would make it seem, that there's just only, I think there's the saying, there's 3 good places in the world for you to live, and that's just simply not true. Because it's a lot more complicated than that. And I know that's not the answer that people want to hear, that it's complicated. And that's why you would hire somebody for a reading, because it's somebody who has the knowledge and the information to share with you on how to find that best place for you in particular. So the first thing we do as astrocartographers is we're actually astrologers. So we know a lot about basic astrology, and a lot of people say, oh yeah, I know about that. Like, I don't need to know about that. I just want to get straight to the astrocartography. And see, astrocartography is based on astrology, so you can't really separate the two and just say, well, I just want to learn about astrocartography, because astrology is the basis for it. So you have to go back to the basics and look at the person's birth chart. And so everyone has a natal promise. They have a birth chart that they're born with. And there's certain strengths and certain challenges in that birth chart. Unfortunately, Saturn is going to be somewhere. Mars is going to be somewhere. So you're going to have challenges somewhere in your life. Pluto is going to be somewhere. Neptune's going to be somewhere. And then there's going to be a place where your Venus is at and your Jupiter is at. And so all these things are in your birth chart in certain parts of your life, and they don't disappear if you go to a different part of the world. They're still there. They're just switching areas of your life, perchance. And energies are shifting. More are shifting into the forefront, some are shifting into the background. So first you're checking out the birth chart, and you're understanding what the challenges and the benefits that this person faces. And you're checking out the essential dignity of the planet. So how able are they to do their jobs? Are they handicapped? Are they struggling? Are they in great shape and they have benefactors and they have helpers? Or do they have people that are against them, that they're in tension with? So we're looking at all these things in the birth chart and seeing, how is your Jupiter doing? Also, there's certain hallmarks of a chart. So for instance, I have Mars opposing Neptune, and also the moon's right there. So it's Moon and Mars opposing Neptune. So if you move a really, really large distance, then your ascendant changes. Now, if you just move a little bit, things do change. They do shift, but it's not enough to shift ascendants. But if you make a major move, then you're shifting ascendants. So those challenges are shifting in your life, and maybe they move more into the background. So it is important. It does shift things. It does maybe make things easier. For instance, I lived on one of my best lines, my Jupiter MC, and I still had issues. But my issues shifted. So when Neptune, Mars, Moon is in first 7th, it's in the forefront. So I'm feeling it in my body. I'm feeling it in my one-on-one relationships. I'm feeling it in my partnerships. But if that shifts, in this case, it shifted to my 3rd and 9th. So I started having actually problems with my 3rd house issues, like short distance travel. I got in a wreck, just, around the block, just got in a wreck. And then I had problems with my aunt and my cousins and my grandma, and like more of those 3rd house type relationships, which I just think is so fascinating, because I went on this trip with my 3rd house type people, aunt, cousins, grandma. And then I had tension with them. I actually did not talk to my grandma for years after this trip. And then I finally did make amends with her, thankfully. But it was like some major, tension, boundary issues, and all these kinds of things in my 3rd, 9th house. I was like learning a ton. I mean, there was such a focus on that Jupiter MC. I was learning just for learning's sake. I was learning so many things. But yeah, that challenge in my chart, it just shifted to a different spot. And that is like third, ninth is a lot less forefront than first, seventh. So that's great. And I was closer to my Jupiter MC, so that's great. But it's not like you lose the challenges. So the challenges are still there. So I know this one person, and their Jupiter is in the 8th house and their Pluto is in the 2nd house. They're in close opposition to each other. And so this means that wherever they go to find their Jupiter line, there's Pluto right there. And it's not exactly, I mean, sometimes, the lines kind of go at an angle or at they don't always go parallel to each other. So sometimes you might find a spot where that Jupiter is not close to the Pluto, but they relatively run together. So if you just had the adage, just go to your Jupiter line and everything will be amazing, then they might find out that they get Pluto. It's like a 2-for-1. So they get that Pluto influence, which may not always be the most pleasant. I mean, I don't want to be doom and gloom that it's horrible, but like Pluto it's challenge. It can be challenging. It can have challenges with it. So, telling everyone just go to your Jupiter line, everything will be amazing. And then they have Jupiter opposing Pluto. The thing is, they're always going to get those Pluto themes with that Jupiter thing. So you have to be careful. Like, what is this person's particular hallmarks going on? Some people have stelliums, so all their lines are right next to each other. So if they get Venus, they also get Jupiter and Pluto and the Sun and like all these different stories going on, and it may be super intense. So they can't just like, oh, well, I'll just go to my Venus line because they get that stellium there. So maybe for the stellium person, maybe they want to be in a place where there's no lines and they're just looking at params and aspects and local space, because maybe it's too intense to be on their stellium lines, like all of the energies together. So and it also depends on what you're looking for, because honestly, people think, well, I want everything. So you can't, unfortunately, have it all. There's no place where it's going to be perfect, where you're going to have everything. So you kind of have to choose, what is the primary thing you're looking for at this time in your life? Are you searching for that special someone? Are you going to look at descendants? Are you thinking about your career and looking at certain MCs? Are you looking at improving your health and you're looking at certain ascendant lines? Are you looking to improve your home life? Are you looking at certain home lines? So I often will see like a certain area that kind of just does have a lot of good things going on. And it's like you see a lot of good lines, although there may be, like I said, bad and good things. So there may be positives and negatives to that area. It's not going to be 100% perfect. And then another thing that I'm looking at is the relocated chart. So what's the flavor of the relocated chart? Now, you never fully get rid of your natal promise, your natal chart. But when you do relocate, you have a different flavor to your chart. And so if you move a lot, then it may become a completely different ascendant, which switches all of your houses around. So it may switch some more difficult aspects to your chart to a more hidden part of your chart. So it's not like the challenges go away, but maybe they go to a less vibrant part of your chart. And then maybe good things may become more to the forefront. So it can be helpful to have that relocated chart, but it's not 100% good. I mean, you're still going to have Mars somewhere. You're still going to have Saturn somewhere. So it is very complicated to look at all these factors. And that's why you can't just say, oh, just go to your Jupiter line. Like, it's just not that simple. And there's all these other factors involved in the analysis. So if you'd like to get a reading, you can go to theacademicastrologer.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks and have a great day.